Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to use Photoshop to make a brand new animal. So we are going to make a chimera, which in Greek mythology is a monstrous fire-breathing hybrid creature. Okay, this is typically what it looks like in mythology, with a lion, a goat, and a snake. But if you were to Google chimera Photoshop, you can see all sorts of different examples. Like here's one that I found with looks like a baby crocodile and a hummingbird crossed together. Okay, so you guys will have to combine at least 3 animals. If you want to do more, you can. And yeah, so I'm combining a walrus, a narwhal, and a cat today. So the first thing I want to do is try to find a good image as my base image. So I think I'll use the walrus as my base. Okay, so let's find a good picture of a walrus. Actually, I'm going to click on Tools, change the size to large because I want a good high-res image. Actually, you know what? A cat might be easier. Just for this demo. Okay. Let's find a good picture of a cat. Oh. So I want one that I can see the entire cat's body. Let's go with this one. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so right-click, copy image. Go into Photoshop. If I go File, New, it will automatically set the resolution to the size of the image that I just copied. Okay, so I can paste it in there. So this provides me a good background as well, and that's why I wanted to get a fairly large image. If you get a very small image, you're not going to really have much room to play with. Okay, so now I'm going to maybe give him a walrus face. Okay, one thing to consider is you want to get the perspective of the animals to be all the same. So I don't want a side view picture of a walrus if I'm going to put it on this cat. Okay? Okay, so let's look for a good walrus head. I think maybe this one will do. Okay, so always click on View Image, because if you copy this one, it's not going to be full resolution. Okay, actually that picture looks kind of blurry. Let's try a different one. I'm being kind of picky too. Okay, come on. Okay, I'll go with this one here. Okay, so right-click, copy image, and I'm going to paste it in here. Now, what I want to do is take out all of the areas that I don't need. So what I can do is use the Quick Select tool in this case, because the background is quite a different color. So I should be able to use that to select the head. Okay, that worked out quite well. Okay, and then I can Control-C to copy. And then what I'm going to do is hide layer 2. So just click on the eyeball on layer 2. And then Control-V will paste that in. Okay. Switching back to the Move tool, I can drag this to where I need it. And I'm actually just going to resize this a bit with Control-T. Okay, so I'm going to put it there. Now, you'll notice that it doesn't really blend very well here. So what I'd recommend for that is the eraser tool. And if we make the hardness all the way to 0, Okay, then it's going to be a very soft eraser. We can bump up the size and just kind of go around the edge here very softly. And that's going to blend in the walrus's skin with the cat. Okay, and then we can worry about the color afterwards. Okay, let's see what that line looks like there. Okay, so I'm just going to blend it all the way up like this. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of the cat ears. So to get rid of things, you can use the rubber stamp tool. It's right under the brush. Rubber stamp allows us to sample an area. So I want to make sure I'm selecting that background layer. Hold Alt. You get a little target icon, and you click on the area that you want to sample. And then now I can paint over the ear, and it's sampling that background area. Okay. Now you got to be a little bit careful with this because you don't want it to really repeat your background too much. Otherwise it'll be obvious that, see, it's kind of obvious there that I did that. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so next we have the narwhal. Okay, so I don't know, I guess maybe a horn, a narwhal horn. It's probably my best bet. You're trying to find a head that's the right, maybe this one. Okay, this doesn't look like a real one. This looks like maybe a model of a narwhal because it's, you know, out of the water on display. But that will probably work for our needs. Okay, so the image is the wrong orientation, so I can go Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. Okay, that might work. We'll try that. So let's resize it. You'll notice that this is underneath, so I can drag that layer on top. The other thing I can do is change the opacity on layers. So this is helpful just for arranging things, just so I can see where it's going to go and how big I need to make it. Okay. And now I just want to use the quick select tool to get that horn out of there. Okay, that's pretty easy to do it like that. Control C, hide this. And then if you want it to be in the exact same spot, it's Control Shift V. Okay, rather than Control V. Now I actually want to move this maybe right there. Maybe right out of the... Did you guys know that the narwhal's tusk is actually a tooth? It's one tooth that has grown very long. That's why the narwhal, it usually doesn't come out right in the center. It's usually off to one side. And there are actually twin tusk narwhals. So there are some that grow two tusks. Unfortunately, all the pictures of them are of dead whales. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty simple to do the horn. Now what I want to do is make the color match with the walrus. So a couple ways we can do that. Make sure you're selecting that walrus layer. Go to Image, Adjustments, and you can change any of these values here, just like you did with the landscapes. Okay, I think first I need to up the brightness. Try that again. Okay, it's kind of almost like a pink color, this cat. Okay, so that's not bad. Another thing you can do is use under the brush tool, there's the color replacement tool. So very much like the rubber stamp, I can sample a color. So I can sample this kind of white color, and then I can paint that on the walrus. Okay, it's actually just coming out as a gray, I guess. Let's try to get more of an orange out of the cat. Yeah, it's actually painting like the same color that it already is, so my color matching was pretty good. Okay, let's maybe bring the saturation down a little bit more. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now, the horn here was a pretty easy addition, okay? So if I found that, you know what, I want to add more stuff to this, then I could add like wings. I could add wings, or I could add a tail of some other creature, or, you know, legs of another creature. So don't limit yourself to 3. If you have space in your picture to add more things, 3 is just the minimum, okay? So there you go, that's a cat, walrus, narwhal.